Hello and welcome to the Target UPSC Prelims 2025 series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about art and culture, and this is the episode 2 of the art and culture. So in the last episode we had covered few important topics which were in news, and in this episode also we are going to cover up few important topics which were in the news. So let's move towards the first point of discussion. So first point of discussion is about Ahilyabai Holkar, and why we are discussing her, because this year marked the 300th birth anniversary of the Ahilyabai Holkar. So we are going to discuss about the Devi Ahilyabai Holkar. So Holkar, Queen of Malwa, remembered with the reverence on her 300th birth anniversary. So she was born in 1725 in Chondi village of Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. She became ruler of Malwa after the death of her father-in-law 1766 and husband 1767. Her husband was killed in the Battle of Kumbher in 1754. She appointed her adopted son Tukoji Rao Holkar. So here we are going to talk about that why Ahilyabai Holkar is important in the history, because she was a female queen and she has introduced some fine initiatives in her kingdom. So that's why it's very important, because at that point of time a rare female queen we get to find. So usually the king administered the any kind of the kingdom. So it's very important to remember the legacies of the queens. So here Maheshwar in Madhya Pradesh was established as the capital of Holkar dynasty. And what's her major contribution? So she rebuilt Kashi Vishwanath temple in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. This is very much important point, because this can be asked in your prelims examination. This temple is located on the western bank of the holy river of Ganges. We'll also discuss this particular thing. Then Somnath temple on the Gujarat coast, the first Jyotirlinga. Somnath temple was attacked by the Mahmud Ghaznavi. So here we'll also discuss about the, after this it was also attacked by the sultans of Delhi, and then Somnath temple was mentioned by the Al-Baruni. So if there will be any question that Al-Baruni has made a description about Somnath temple or not, then we are going to talk about it, and then we are going to talk about the social development in her kingdom. So worked for women's education and widows remarriage, opposed evil practices like sati pratha and untouchability, tried to bring Bhil and Gond tribes and lower caste into the mainstream. Because in the kingdom, whenever we see that most of the senapatis and officials belong to a certain upper strata, but she tries to bring the tribal community to the mainstream. So here we'll also discuss few things. Chhatri of Malhar Rao. So here you can see the Chhatri of Malhar Rao Holkar was erected by Maharani Ahilyabai Holkar in 1766 AD to honor the great Maratha general. It stands apart with the beautiful carvings and magnificent architecture. It has resemblance with the pattern of the Chhatris of Holkar rulers at Indore, which is ornately carved with floral and leaf patterns. The Maratha style Chhatri represents a beautiful blend of shikhar, dome and arch. Kalash has been made in very attractive manner. So here you can see that how attractive Chhatri and she has built. Now we'll discuss economic. So here we are talking about the Malhar Rao. So he introduced well-organized tax system. Maheshwar and Indore became major centers of trade and commerce in his empire. Maheshwar saris and textile products have been given GI tag. And then Holkar dynasty. So founder of Holkar dynasty was Malhar Rao Holkar. This dynasty was an important part of the Maratha Confederacy. Other major dynastic Bhosles of Nagpur, then Gaikwads of Baroda and Scindias of Gwalior. So we'll discuss some more point. Malhar Rao too. So he was ruler from 1811 to 1833, ruler of the Holkar dynasty, played an important role in the Third Anglo-Maratha War. This point is also very much important, because they can ask that who was a part of the Third Anglo-Maratha War. Then there was a Treaty of Mandsaur, which was signed in 1818 after Malhar Rao to defeat in the Battle of Mahidpur, and this treaty determined the relation between the Holkars and the British. So here it is also giving you highlights about that Holkars were also engaged with the British, and then there was a Anglo-Maratha War also, then there was a treaty also. Now we'll discuss another point. Mumbai Central Station to be renamed as Nana Shankarseth Mumbai Central Railway Station. So here we'll talk about that who was Nana Shankarseth. So recently, Maharashtra cabinet has decided to urge the railway ministry to change the name of Mumbai Central Station to Nana Jagannath Shankarseth. So Nana Jagannath Shankarseth, born in Brahmin family in Murbad, Thane district of Maharashtra. Father's name Shankar Murkute. Here, he was greatly inspired by the businessman and philanthropist Sir Jamsetji Jijabhoy. Major contribution: architect of Mumbai, he led major projects to plan buildings, roads, and avenues in Bombay. He was a patron and donated family owned land to set up school. He founded Bombay Native School, which later evolved as Elphinstone College. This is very much important, that who has contributed in the what you can say evolving of the Elphinstone College. And here we'll talk about more. He played a significant role in promoting Dr. Bhau Daji Lad Museum in Baikula, as well as construction of Bhavani Shankar Temple and Ram Temple. He was a part of the committee related to the development of India's first train project. Then political contribution: he was the first Indian to be nominated to the Bombay Legislative Council. He was also an Indian member of the Asiatic Society of Bombay. So whenever we are talking about this person, what we got to know, that he was active in all the arena. He has a immense economic contribution, then political contribution, educational contribution. So that's why his personality became great. And the renowned economist Gangadhar Gadgil referred him as architect of the modern India, and his contribution greatly influenced freedom fighters like Dadabhai Naoroji, Justice Ranade in India's struggle for independence. So this is the picture of him. Now we'll talk about the PM to inaugurate the year-long celebration commemorating 200th birth anniversary of Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati on 12th February. So whenever we talk about the Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati, what did you remember? The first word come to my mind is Arya Samaj. So he had established the Arya Samaj. So we'll talk about him also and Arya Samaj also. So recently, the central government formed a year-long celebration to mark the 200th birth anniversary of Dayanand Saraswati. He was a social reformer, and he was born in 1824 in Morbi, Kathiawad. Original name Mool Shankar. Then what we can see, that staying in the company of Swami Vivekananda, Dayanand Saraswati began studying the works of Padini, Patanjali in Mathura and started giving teaching. And his literary contribution, such kind of questions have been repeatedly asked, so be careful. Satyarth Prakash, Ved Bhashya Bhumika. So these things have been asked, especially Satyarth Prakash. So be careful that if anybody will ask that who is the author of the Satyarth Prakash, then you should know the answer. And philosophy of Dayanand Saraswati: he opposes human-made rituals and idol worship. He worked towards reviving Vedic ideologies. He acknowledged the supreme authority of the Vedas. Then he propagated religion as a symbol of truthfulness, free from any kind of biasness. He did not completely against the what you can say caste system, but what we can see that he was against the untouchability, and he was against the inequality, and he had given the slogan "Go back to the Vedas." And we had already discussed that he was against the practice of untouchability, and he emphasized on the Vedic education, which was permitted to only higher caste, but he emphasized that it should be given to all caste. And women in education, so he opposed child marriage and exclusion of widow from the society. He also launched campaigns for women's education. So he was a great social reformer, and we can see that he had a great social contribution, religious contribution in terms of reviving the Vedas. Now we are going to talk about the his social movement. So he initiated Gaur Raksha movement and Shuddhi program. And Shuddhi program is basically about those who had forcefully converted to the Islam and Christianity. So they will be given chance to come back to their own basic religion and base religion, which was the Hinduism. And then idea of Swaraj. So he has propagated the idea of Swaraj. It means the self-rule. This has been also asked many times in prelims examination. So be careful for that. And he had also said that India for Indians, And later this idea was adopted by the Lokman Tilak and Mahatma Gandhi. He established Arya Samaj in 1875 and Vedic school. An establishment happened in 1875 Bombay, but constitution happened in Lahore. So this was the his contribution to the society and to the freedom struggle also. Now we'll talk about the PM Modi's meditation in Kanyakumari continues. Tourists allowed to visit Vivekanand Rock Memorial. So here our focus should be the Vivekanand Rock Memorial. So construction. So when it got constructed, so it got constructed in 1970. It is believed to be the spot where Swami Vivekananda once meditated, and the memorial is surrounded by the Lakshadweep Sea, located where the Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean, and Arabian Sea meet. Then we'll talk about the is also believed that this is the rock where Devi Kanyakumari prayed to Lord Shiva. Now we are going to talk about the Swami Vivekananda. So Swami Vivekananda was born on 12th January 1863 in Kolkata. His childhood name was Narendranath Dutt, and his birthday, which is the 12th January, is celebrated as the National Youth Day. And his father name was Vishwanath Dutt, mother Bhuneshwari Devi, spiritual guru Sri Ramakrishna, and prominent disciple Margaret Noble. She is popularly called as Sister Nivedita. In the comment section, you have to tell me that who had established the Parahams Society. Now we are going to talk about the Ramakrishna Paramhans Mutt. So you have to tell this answer. So India Pakistan extends Shri Kartarpur Sahib corridor agreement by 5 years. So we are discussing this topic amid the situation when there is a so much tense situation between India and Pakistan because of the Pahalgam attack. Amid all these controversy and amid all these things, it's very important that what cultural and religious ties we share. So Kartarpur border and Kartarpur corridor is one such cultural and religious ties we share. So we are going to talk about that. So here recently India and Pakistan agreed to extend the validity of Kartarpur Sahib corridor agreement for the next 5 years. So Dera Baba Nanak Shri Kartarpur Sahib. So there is a Gurdwara Shri Kartarpur Sahib is located in Narowal district, Pakistan, which is situated 4.5 kilometers from the India-Pakistan border near the historic town Dera Baba Nanak in Gurdaspur district, Punjab, India. So we'll talk about it. Kartarpur village is located on the western bank of Ravi River. Gurudwara Dera Baba Nanak is situated on the eastern bank of Ravi River. And Sri Kartarpur Sahib Corridor Agreement originally signed in 2019, and this was valid for 5 years. Again, it got extended, and Indian pilgrims and OCI, which is overseas citizen of India cardholders, are allowed to visit this place on the daily basis. So here, if you'll see that what are the rules and regulations for them. So if any Indian citizens are visiting, they have to come on the same day, so they cannot stay there. And this particular facility is not available to the Pakistani Sikh. This is only exclusive to the Indian Sikhs. Also, Pakistani government charges US dollar 20, I think US dollar 20 for each pilgrim for every trip, and no restrictions on faith of the pilgrims traveling. So here you might think that only Sikhs are allowed. No, anybody is allowed. So here Indians are allowed, but Pakistani Sikhs are not allowed to visit that place. So these are the some rules and regulations. And if Pakistani Sikhs wants to go, so they are allowed, but they need Indian visa. But from Indian side, they don't need any visa to travel to that place. Now we'll talk about the budget 2024. Raman announces financial support for developing temple corridors at Vishnupad Mahabodhi in Bihar. A corridor project will be initiated for the Vishnupad temple in Gaya and Mahabodhi temple in Bodh Gaya, Bihar. Recently, Mahabodhi temple is in news because of the Bodh Gaya Mukti Andolan, and so many monks are protesting that they want full administration of the Mahabodhi temple. So these all references matters because these topics and these places are coming again in news, so that's why it's very important. Then Vishnupad temple and Mahabodhi temple are located about 10 kilometers apart, and development of these temples will follow the model of Kashi Vishwanath temple corridor. So we had already witnessed that how grand and how successful Kashinath Kashi Vishwanath corridor is there. So on the basis of that, they are also going to develop in Gaya also. So here we'll talk about the Vishnupad temple. So it is located in the Gaya, which is a city in Bihar, and on the banks of the Falgu river. Main deity, as the name suggests, Vishnu is the main deity, and they have the temple has a feature of footprints of the Lord Vishnu carved on basalt stone, which are also known as Dharamshila, and there are four symbols of the footprints. So here we have one Sankh, which is conch, wheel, chakra, gada, mace, and padma, which is lotus. So here there are so many mythological stories associated with this temple that according to Hindu mythology, the footprints at this site symbolizes the place where Lord Vishnu subdued the demon Gayasur by placing his foot on his head. This sacred site is also mentioned in both Mahabharata and Ramayana, and it is believed that Lord Rama has performed Pinddan here for his father Dashrath. So that's why we can see that so much of religious association with Gaya. People always visit to pay Pinddan to their forefathers. So this is the significance of the Vishnupad temple. Now we are going to talk about the Mahabodhi temple complex, which I have already narrated, that which was in news because of the Bodh Gaya Mukti Andolan, and Buddhist monk warned that they want a full administration of this particular temple complex, because this particular temple complex belong to the Buddhist religion, so they do not want any interference from the Hindu Brahmin and any kind of the Hindu religious people. So these are the controversy which are still going related to the Mahabodhi temple. So it is located in Bodh Gaya, Bihar, and global recognition UNESCO World Heritage Site. So it was first built by the Emperor Ashoka in 3rd century BCE, and the temple structure dates back to the 5th to 6th century, marking the end of the Gupta period. It is one of the oldest brick-built Buddhist temple. So this is the picture we have, and if we'll talk about the cabinet approves the development of the National Maritime Heritage Complex in Lothal, Gujarat. So whenever we talk about the Lothal, what did you think about the Lothal? So if anybody is history enthusiast, cultural enthusiast, or civilizational enthusiast, or in fact enthusiast of the general knowledge, then they can associate Lothal with the Harappan civilization. So in the context and by knowing the ancient significance of the Lothal, something has been announced. So the Union Cabinet has approved the development of National Maritime Heritage Complex in Lothal, Gujarat. National Maritime Heritage Complex. It is being developed under the Sagarmala program by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. The project is being executed through the public-private partnership mode, and so Lothal, as I have already told you, that this is a Harappan site. So it is located between Bhogwa and Sabarmati river near the Gulf of Khambat, and it was a major city of Indus Valley civilization, because here we got the evidence of the dockyard dry dock. So here the discovery of dockyard at Lothal provides insights into the maritime trade which existed between the Indus Valley civilization and Mesopotamian Valley civilization. So this was the this is the significance of Lothal we have. Now we'll talk about the National Maritime Heritage Complex. So its objective to showcase India's rich and diverse maritime heritage, create world's largest maritime heritage complex, world-class lighthouse museum, coastal state pavilions, marine themed eco resort, and India's maritime heritage. Indus Valley civilization had maritime trade. So I had already told you that we had connection with the Mesopotamia and we got seals also. So we have evidence for that there was a trade existed between Indus Valley civilization and Mesopotamians. Now we'll talk about the some prominent tribes who were in news. So first we are going to talk about the Apatani tribe. So researchers from the Geological Survey of India have discovered a new species of forest dwelling horned frog in the Talle Wildlife Sanctuary, Arunachal Pradesh. This is very much important at where Talle Wildlife Sanctuary is located. So it is located in Arunachal Pradesh, and this new species has been named Xenophyrus apatani. So here Apatani is a tribe. So Apatani tribe is found in the Zero Valley and is known for effective traditional village council system called Bulayan. So this is very much important because in prelims examination they can ask that Bullion is associated with. So Bullion is associated with the Apatani tribe, and this is a village council system. So here we'll talk some more. So this tribe's region has been included in the UNESCO temporary list as a living cultural landscape, and the term living cultural landscapes refers to areas where human and environment are interdependent on each other and they are peacefully coexisting with each other. And what are the major festivals associated with the Apatani tribe? So it's Dre Moeko, main dances, the Minda dance, pre-dance. So here are the few glimpses of the Apatani tribe. Now we'll talk about the Pome Naga tribe. So Pome Naga tribe of Senapati district, Manipur has imposed a ban on hunting wild animals and birds as well as on trapping and killing them in their region. So it is one of the oldest and largest Naga tribes in Manipur. This tribe resides in both Manipur and Nagaland. The tribe is known for its long pauli, clay pottery and potai, salt production. And which language they speak? So they speak Paula. So here are the pictures. Now we are going to talk about the Soliga tribe. So this Soliga is an isolated tribal community who resides in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, specifically in Biligiri, Rangana Hills and Male Madheswar Hills, and they practice farming and hunting with the seasonal cycle. We can call in local language what you can say that uh, whenever they see any evidences of forestry or agriculture, they do, and then they leave to the another place. So such kind of might be practices existent. The tribe speaks Soliga, which is Dravidian language. Traditional festivals: Toti Habba, Hosa Ragi, Habba, Mari, Gaura Habba, Gauri Habba. So these festivals and these languages are important because they can ask that this particular thing is associated with which tribe. So you should know. Then we'll talk about the Konda Reddy tribe. So Konda Reddy tribe is shared their indigenous knowledge related to Indian laurel tree with forest officials. Konda Reddy settlements are located along the Godavari River in Andhra Pradesh, and it is recognized as particularly vulnerable tribal group in Andhra Pradesh. Their agriculture practice includes shifting agriculture known as Podu agriculture. So what is the local word for shifting agriculture in Andhra Pradesh, and especially for this particular community called Konda Reddy? Podu agriculture. So here we'll talk about the Tiva tribe. So Tiva tribe celebrates their important cultural festival, Yangli festival, which is held once every few years. So Yangli festival is associated with the Tiva tribe, and the festival is celebrated to please goddess Lakshmi for good harvest. The Tiva tribe is ethnic group primarily residing in the regions of Assam and Meghalaya, and they are also found in Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Nagaland. So mostly in the northeastern part of the country. And Tiva tribe speaks Tiva language, also known as Lalan. It belongs to Tibeto-Burman language family. They have a traditional attire, so men wear sador, which is a strip worn over the upper garment for men. Mekhla, a traditional cloth draped like sari for women. Then Muria tribe. So Muria tribe is Aluri Sitaraman Raju district, Andhra Pradesh, practices a traditional method called Deda to preserve seeds. So here we'll know the process of the Deda. So this is a method in which what happens that seeds are wrapped in leaves and they can be stored up to 5 years, and seeds are tightly bundled in circular shape and woven with siali leaves. So these are the methods to protect seeds, and we can also protect it from the pests. Then Muria tribe is subgroup of the Gond tribe in Chhattisgarh. They are historically connected with Mutia uprising in 1876 in Bastar. The uprising was against the Diwan of Bastar, Gopinath Kapardas. So this is about the Muria tribe. Then this is practice question for you. Consider the following statement. Devi Ahilyabai Holkar is known for promoting women's education and the remarriage of widows. She also opposed social evils like sati and untouchability. Here they are asking that which statement is correct. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Only statement 1 is correct. Only statement 2 is correct. Both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. So this is, we had firstly discussed about the Ahilyabai Holkar and what's her contribution, what's her policies. So that's it for the today's session. And what is the key words of the today's session? That we had discussed a lot about different tribes, So this is very much important, that which tribe special item got the GI tag, what's their traditional attire, what's their festival, what's their language, because such questions have been asked. So you should be careful about their recognition, about their identity. Then we got to know few things about the history, just like Ahilyabai Holkar, Malhar Rao. Then we got to know about the architectural style of different temples. So overall, we had covered a lot of topic. So you have to revise it again and again for prelims examination. That's it for today's session. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask into the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.